Welcome to this week's Ask Charlie. I asked on Instagram, TikTok and YouTube for you to ask me your questions, mainly Christmas related, but I said you can ask anything you like. So this week is a Q&A. Now, if there are lots of questions, I will do a part 2 as well and split it in half. We will just see how we get on. I always like to not look and just answer off the cuff and the first thing that comes into my mind, because I think it's better than kind of premeditated and too thought out. So I suggest that you make yourself a cup of tea, pour yourself a drink, get cozy and come and join me for this week's Ask Charlie. So I'm going to start first with the YouTube questions. I did a YouTube short and said, ask away. And Hannah has asked, she said, looking forward to this, some suggestions. What's your favourite Christmas carol? Oh, Silent Night is probably the first one that springs into mind. And I think that would be the absolute favourite. What is your most cherished family tradition at Christmas time? I actually think going to church on Christmas morning is probably something that we've always done, and I love doing it. It's sort of part of our Christmas, so that's probably one of our most cherished, or my most cherished family tradition, certainly. And then Tulip Girl has said, I'm keen to know the Christmas traditions that your family follow, your favourite homemade gift ideas and consumable and eco-friendly gift ideas. That's such a great question. And how do you decide which friends and family members to give gifts to? I feel like it's an ever-growing list. Yes, I know that feeling. So yes, family traditions, we are very traditional, and there are traditions that I did as a child growing up, and I suppose one of those would be playing carols and wonderful Christmassy music as we're decorating the house. We always decorate the Christmas tree as a family, and that's something really special and really fun. Simon opens a bottle of bubbles, the music goes on and we decorate. So that is a really lovely tradition that we do. When the children were really little on Christmas Eve, I read them Christmas stories before they went to bed, and then Simon and I would have something to eat and get things ready for the following day, if you know what I mean. And then eco-friendly gift ideas. I mean, maybe like pine cones as firelighters, beautifully wrapped up. Really useful if you've got, a working fire. Those are brilliant. Edibles, so chutneys, jams, Florentines, things like that. Making something I think is really a special gift. It's a personal gift, and I think always really well received. It's not about the money and that kind of aspect. I think Christmas can be all a little bit brash and ghastly with too many presents and too much money being spent. It's actually the thought and time and effort that goes in is, I think, far more important than the monetary value. Zoe has asked 3 questions if you can fit them in. Do you have any particular traditions on Christmas Eve? Growing up, we always used to have a black tie dinner on Christmas Eve. There's somebody at the door. Perfect. We used to have a black tie dinner on Christmas Eve, which was really special and really lovely. So I'm hoping actually now the children are so much older that actually we could make an effort, maybe not do black tie, but get dressed up and have a really special dinner together. Do you have a busy day, or do you try and keep Christmas Eve calm? I try to keep it calm, but it ends up being quite busy, if I'm honest. Have you introduced any new traditions in the new house? No, but we probably will do a Christmas Eve dinner. Did we last year? I can't remember what we did last year. I actually was really unwell and had, I think I had flu. I felt ghastly. And I kind of soldiered on over Christmas and was really ill between Christmas and New Year. So last Christmas, to be honest, with the move, the builders, I'm feeling ill. It's a bit of a blur. But I think, it's really lovely being able to walk to church from here. So that's something very special, being able to just pot it down and then have a lovely walk back. What music do you like to listen to in the lead up of Christmas? Any favourites? Zoe, I'm going to leave linked in the description of this video my Christmas playlist, which I created on Spotify for you all, full of my favourites. I love the cheesy Christmas tunes, but I also love the classics. I love carols from King's College. That's something that I used to listen to with my mum and with my parents growing up. And that's an absolute favourite. Some questions from Ella. What's the best gift you've received? Oh, I don't know. I think when Simon completely surprises me with something. One year he gave me my beautiful perfume, which I still wear. It's my absolute favourite. I haven't found anything that comes close. It's Acqua di Parma Magnolia Nobil, and I think that is really lovely when somebody just gets you something really thoughtful and really special that you really love. And yeah, that is the first thing that came into my mind. What's your favourite Christmas tradition? I think it has to be going to church on Christmas morning, to be honest. I love it, and it doesn't feel like Christmas. There's probably a handful of times in my life that I haven't been to church on Christmas morning and it doesn't feel quite right. And what's your favourite Christmas song and film? Okay, it has to be The Holiday. Love that film. And favourite Christmas song? Oh, Last Christmas. Wham. Love it, love it, love it. Always gets me going. Christina has said, do you buy new Christmas decorations every season, or do you have your own decorations from previous years? I only tend to buy one decoration each year, maybe more, but no, they are many, many, many years worth of collections. A lot of things that the children have made, things that I have treasured. Simon, for a lot of years, I don't know if he didn't do it last year, bought me a Christmas decoration, a special Christmas decoration every year. So I've got a wonderful collection of those. But no, I definitely don't buy new every year. And I love the memories from them of where I got that decoration. When we've travelled and there's a Christmas shop, we will go in and choose a few pieces, and it's so special unwrapping them year after year and the memories that you have from them. I love that. How do you keep so calm and cheerful under pressure? I breathe. I think often I am like a swan. My legs going like that and I'm trying to float above gracefully. I can get a little bit panicky actually when I get really stressed, and then I end up going around in circles and then I waste more time, and I normally get stressed because of lack of time and time pressure. And so actually when I feel myself like that, I'm like, breathe, relax, stay cool. What is the worst that can happen? That you just don't make that extra side dish, or you just don't do that nobody ever probably thought that you were going to do anyway. So just keep calm, breathe and carry on. Sometimes I will stand outside and I will just have a moment, and that is how I stay cheerful under pressure. I'd love to know the process behind your Christmas giving. Do you buy gifts throughout the year for people and keep them until Christmas, or do you go out and browse near Christmas and buy them then? I do a little bit of both actually. If something jumps out and is like, oh, that's a perfect present for that person, then I will get it then and there. If not, I will go out nearer the time because it might change. And then as a family, in a big extended family, we do a Secret Santa, which works really well. But I tend to try and put a bit of thought into presents rather than a last minute rush. Hi Charlie, could you go over storing Christmas items? I don't really go with the trends and I like to reuse what I have, and storage is a problem due to not being able to store in the house. Also some items that you find you use on repeat. Great question. I have plastic storage tubs, and actually this was something that I shared with my members club of how I store them. They are in the attic and they're in plastic boxes, and on the outside it's labelled like Christmas lights, Christmas decorations, tartan bows, whatever it might be. So I can go immediately and find what I need. Coco had a party at the end of August and she wanted fairy lights. So I just went out to the Christmas box that said fairy lights, got them out, and she used them. So that is how I store them. And those boxes could go in the garage, they could go in an outhouse, they could go in the cellar. They are, you know, great. And I love a plastic storage container. Love your shirt. Thank you, Soph, for saying that. That was the shirt. It's a blue and white shirt from Willowbrook online that I was wearing when I asked the questions. Ask me your questions. Where do you get your ruffle collar shirts? I love them. Me too. This one is Lulu Collection. I love it too. I get them from all over the place. Shuffle, DeBarry, Lulu Collection, Willowbrook online, some high street like H&M. They do some great ruffled shirts. So those are the ones that spring to mind immediately. I love a ruffle shirt. I love a puff. I love a frill. I'm girly. I don't care what anyone thinks. They might think I'm old, I'm dated, I'm traditional, I'm boring. I don't care. I'm happy, and that is all that's important. I'm just going to put another log on the fire. There we are. Right. It must be challenging to cook with 2 labs literally underfoot. Yes. Linda, it can be challenging. There's one time where I nearly tripped over Rosie. I didn't realise she was behind me and I stepped backwards and both of us got a shock. But actually we work quite well around each other, and they'll come and sleep in here as well. They've got a bed in here over there, and so it's fine. Christmas is our busiest time of year. Any recommendations to make it feel special without too much effort? Yes. Do as much in November as you possibly can do. You can do your red cabbage, you can do your potatoes, you can make your gravy ahead. If you do all of those things, then literally on Christmas Eve, you can open up the freezer, you can pull it out. I've got my Christmas recipe planner. I also have my Christmas online course, which there are 2 versions. There's a longer version, which literally takes you through every aspect of Christmas that I could ever think of, from Advent to stockings to wreath making to table laying to Christmas cards to games with your children. Literally, there is absolutely every aspect of Christmas in that course. And then I've got my shorter course for those that are super busy, and it just helps take the stress out of Christmas. So I will leave both of those courses linked in the description of this video, and it just makes it less stressful the more organised you are, because Christmas is my busiest time of year as well. And when the children were tiny, and this is how I developed my Christmas course, we had 3 children in 2.5 years with no twins. And it was crazy, it was full on. I was always hosting Christmas and nobody helped me with anything. And it was quite stressful. And so I found Christmas the most challenging time of the year. I didn't find it enjoyable, I didn't find it a pleasure, and so I had to put systems in place to make it less stressful so I could actually sit down by the fire and enjoy. And so that is when I got into making things ahead and putting them in the freezer. So hopefully that helps. Those are all the questions on YouTube. So I'm going to head over to TikTok and see who has asked what over there. Right, Sammy has asked over on TikTok, if you wanted to freeze potatoes ready to roast, what stage would you freeze them? Straight after parboiling them, or would you start roasting them and just take them out a little earlier? There are 2 ways of doing it, Sammy. Some people parboil and then freeze. I actually parboil, roast and take them out sort of 10-15 minutes before I would do. I let them cool, I freeze them. I let them fully defrost before reheating them and finishing them off. Really important that you let them fully defrost, otherwise they are like bullets. So hopefully that helps. But yeah, getting ahead with your roast potatoes is a really good one. Never cover your roast potatoes with tin foil or cling film when they're hot, because they'll go all kind of mushy and horrid and not very nice. Blue Rider has said, have you any specific Christmas traditions you really enjoy doing with your family and friends? We always have a big family Christmas, maybe like a few days before Christmas or the weekend before Christmas, which we are doing this year, which is really, really special. We get together with cousins and everybody. That is really lovely. Then we always go to church on Christmas morning, and often we will have friends on Christmas Day. Both of mine and Simon's parents are no longer with us. They have all very sadly died, and so often we will have friends for Christmas, which is really, really lovely. Chili Dog has said, will your book be available in Waterstones WH Smith before Christmas, as I'm going to give it to some friends? I think the answer to that is no, it won't be. It might be next year, but at the moment we're just doing it through my website and in person. So I am doing some events in December in person where you can get my book, and I will be very, very happy to sign it. But at the moment, maybe next year it will be in Waterstones and on Amazon. We're looking into it, but at the moment it's not going to be. I fancy cooking a goose for Christmas instead of the usual turkey. Any ideas for cooking, including ingredients to make it Christmassy, if that is even a word? Yes, let me get a recipe idea for you. Bear with. Piper's Farm have a wonderful book, which Rosie decided to chew, which is slightly annoying. And in their December section, it says how to have a Piper's Farm Christmas. But in here, they have got roast turkey. They have got roast goose with prune, bacon and chestnut stuffing. And if I were to cook a goose, I would follow their recipe. I have cooked a lot of things from the Piper's Farm cookery book, and it always comes out really well. They also have roast duck with quince and Brussels sprouts. So I would go with that. Green Beans for Life has said, what would be one of your favourite gifts to get for somebody for your kitchen? Oh my goodness. I mean, it depends what your budget is. If you're going for something small, an OXO potato peeler, any of the OXO products actually I really, really rate. They have got a great mandolin. They have like a really useful, I've got an OXO nut cutter, like chopper thing, which is really handy. If you're going for a bigger gift, something like a Magimix or a Kenwood or something along those lines, it depends what your budget is. Or a really good microplane for zesting and for grating, I think would be really useful. Or just a lovely set of wooden spoons, to be honest. I would be very happy with that. Eloise has said, what's your favourite food to make at Christmas? Make as a Christmas gift? Oh, mince pies, Florentines. I do a Christmassy chocolate rocky road. I think one of those would be my favourite. I'm a real chocolate girl and I love mince pies. Oh, a good mince pie cannot beat. I would love to order your book, but I live in the States, so shipping rates are about as much as a book. I know. We're looking into Amazon, but I think, to be honest, it will probably be next year at this, yeah. I will keep you posted. We're looking into the options, but I don't think it will be this side of Christmas. What is something about you that we don't know? Oh, I don't know. I'm fiercely independent. I'm fiercely strong-willed, and I hate being let down by people. I think those are some things that spring into mind. And I did share on TikTok the other day, so everybody knows I love climbing trees. Yes, still at the age of 45, I love climbing a tree. Would love to know what your family traditions are for Christmas. I think we've kind of gone through it, but so we go to church in the morning. Well, we get up, do the animals, come in, have breakfast, get ready, go to church, come back, start cooking. Then we'll eat, have a long dog walk, do the animals, and then come and flop, play games and watch Christmassy TV. That's a typical Christmas day in the Gray household, and there might be a bit of friends popping in for a drink or something as well. Some ideas for presenting homemade Christmas buffet cheese board. Oh, for presenting, sorry. I think I need glasses, guys. Presenting Christmas a buffet cheese boards, not shop walk party food. I think just add in like little sprigs of holly and ivy, wooden chopping boards, and just display everything on those. And vary the height as well, because that makes it look more attractive. I think a bit of variety and a few little tea lights in jam jars and all candlesticks, really pretty. I have a funny question. What's your biggest Christmas cooking disaster that you've ever had, and how did you overcome it? Nothing that springs to mind at Christmas, but I did cook a dinner party and we ran out of food before I'd served everybody for the main course. So now I always over cater. That was a disaster, literally running out of food and having to take food off people's plates so everybody got something to eat. That was bad. It was a long time ago. I was in my 20s, but that was, yeah, had to try and style that one out. I want to make a gingerbread house cake and have the mould, but not so much fruit. Oh, okay, sorry. I want to make a gingerbread house cake. I have a mould, but not so much fruit, and something that will last. I'm not actually sure what you mean, Julie. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'd really like to make gravy. Angel has asked, I would really like to know how to make gravy for Christmas Day. I will try soon to make a gravy and share with you how I make mine and how you can make in advance. So bear with, I will film a TikTok for you. Thank you. Do you have any favourite gift ideas? I think just something personal, something thoughtful, something that you have put time and thought into it. I don't think it's about the monetary value, but it's the thought that goes in, which I think is really special. I always host Christmas dinner for our family and extended family, and the one thing that I always stress over is how do I keep everything hot so everybody can serve themselves and sit down and eat together? Great question, Heidi. I'm really lucky because we have the Arga and I use that as a hot plate. My mum used to have a hostess trolley. I don't know if you remember those, you're probably way too young. I think it was a thing of the 80s. And the hostess trolley would be wheeled in to the dining room and you'd open it and then all the dishes would be, the serving dishes would be in there and you would take them out and you'd put them on the side for everyone to help themselves. Genius idea. And they also used to have like a hot cupboard that you could have on the wall. Belling did it, and you would open it up and you could put your plates in there to warm. So something like that, but you can always, if you are short on space, you don't have an Arga, I doubt you have a hostess trolley because you wouldn't be asking that question. You can just put things in the microwave and just heat them up quickly, cover it in tin foil, pop it on the table, do the same with the next thing. Tin foil's really great for things like that, but don't use foil on roast potatoes because they go soggy. So if you have a microwave, it could be your best friend just to give it a quick blitz before putting on the table so everyone can serve themselves and you can sit down together. So hopefully that is helpful. Now I am going to end the Q&A here and come back next week for part 2. Those are all the Instagram questions because otherwise this video is going to be crazy long. Your questions have been amazing, so thank you for asking them all, and I look forward to seeing you in part 2. Have a super week and lots of love, and remember, if you're new around here, hit the subscribe. I have a video on a Tuesday, and which tends to be like a sit down one topic thing on the whole, and then on a Friday I have a vlog. So yeah, stay tuned and There will be my take on Vlogmas. It will not be a video every day, but that will be coming for you in December, which I can't wait, as well as the book physically launching. That is being printed right now and will be with us very soon. So I can't wait for that. But thank you so much for your questions and lots of love.